Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Agave Talk, your number one source for everything agave. We appreciate you being here with us today. Today, we are checking out Casamigos Mezcal. Yes, if you've seen this bottle or not, you might have heard of the brand Casamigos, a extremely popular celebrity tequila. Yes, Casamigos coming out of the house of George Clooney and Randy Gerber. Two friends back in 2010 decided to make their own tequila brand. Now, on the website, they go through like a whole story of how and why that occurred. Regardless, whatever it is, Casamigos is here. And for better or worse, whatever you think, let me know in the comments. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? I know celebrity tequila, especially amongst tequila people, man, I don't know. It could go both ways. There's a lot of hate for certain brands like Casamigos. Casamigos gets a whole lot of hate, but then there's celebrity brands that people eat up and love. I've heard every excuse under the sun of why somebody would hate a celebrity tequila, but then drink another. And it's just moving those goalposts, people, is kind of ridiculous, right? But regardless, whatever you think, wherever you stand, would love to hear your comments down below. Are you team celebrity tequila? Are you team no celebrity tequila? Are you somewhere in the middle? What do you think? Well, regardless, today we are checking out Casamigos Mezcal. So this is not the tequila. This is the mezcal. And personally, I love this bottle. This bottle is so cool. It looks like it was like made out of volcanic rock, burnt in a volcano some way, somehow. This is an Artesenal, so they are cooking this underground, and they're using volcano rocks and river rocks as well during that cooking process, and overall just this frosted matte black glass. I'm digging it. I've always loved this bottle, regardless of what the juice tastes like inside. I've definitely enjoyed this. This bottle here is actually, I've had this for quite some time. I have such a huge collection at the house, and there's so many bottles that I never even get to review or bother. But this I know is getting towards the end. And most of you know, if you do follow the channel, that I recently made an international move. So I am back here in the States, and I'm trying to clear out some stuff just for storage purposes, for shipping purposes. Geez, I can't talk today. And just really trying to get rid of some bottles that I normally am not going to replace and or care to have around. And this honestly is just one of those. It's something that is so easily obtainable. I can get this pretty much anywhere. So if I ever decided to get another bottle, great, I can easily get it. So to finish this out, I'm not going to be too upset, right? So regardless, we are checking this out today. I do have it taped up here just because, again, I had no idea when I was going to be able to drink this again, but I will be taking off this parafilm before I open this. But this bottle right here, you can see it is Mezcal Artesanal. What does that mean? Well, if you do follow the channel, I have done videos on that before, but there are three categories to mezcal. One is just mezcal. Another is Mezcal Artesanal, which this is. And then a third is Mezcal Ancestral, right? So what does that mean? Well, I'm not going to go super into it, but basically it's how it's produced, right? With Artesanal kind of being in the middle of the other two, Mezcal Ancestral, some really strict guidelines, whereas just regular mezcal, nothing, and Artesanal is kind of that step up, right? So they are using an Artesanal method. They're splitting those piñas. They are cooking it underground for 4 to 6 days in underground pits, like I said before, lined with volcanic rock and or river rock. They are actually using a Tahona to crush this. So this is a Tahona crushed mezcal. A lot of people will say, celebrity tequilas, celebrity mezcal, their production methods are terrible. Well, Casamigos is actually doing some pretty decent production methods, like using that Tahona to crush this, right? So again, you bring that up to somebody, they'll give you another excuse of why celebrity tequila and mezcal is terrible. Here at Agave Talk, hey man, I drink everything and anything. I do have my opinions. I do prefer traditional small batch, homemade family kind of stuff. But I always say, too, you can't knock it until you try it. And I'm not one to just give blatant celebrity hate just because it's celebrity. But I do give hate to others, those haters who hate one brand, but then they love another. And it's like, come on, man, where you at? Where you at with this, right? But that's another video for another day. Today, we are continuing to focus on this. And again, that Artesenal. So they are crushing with Tajonas. They then let it ferment for about 6 to 8 days. And then they distill in copper pots. So, I mean, production-wise, it's pretty solid. Looking here, again, it's just blatant right up front whose brand this is, even though that they've sold this many years ago for a really, really, really large sum of money. Casamigos is actually still using their names because, of course, it's, very identifiable. We got our regulatory sticker there. This is a 1 liter bottle. And Casamigos Spirits Company, I'm not even sure if they make 1 liter bottles anymore. But here we go. NOM 0491X, gluten-free on there, made in Mexico. And again, just kind of a really, really dope bottle. This is 100% Agave Espadin. Nothing else. That's all this is. And again, those Espadins, it's just kind of for mass production. So it makes sense that that is what they're using, all right? They're selling a lot of this stuff. I believe this bottle now goes for maybe like $70, $80. Is it worth it? Well, I'm about to open it up and let you explore with us, and then you can decide. So let your bottles pop. Oh, yeah. Looking at the top, we got just kind of like a wooden cork with the Casamigos branding there. Let me pour this out. If you have not done so already, please hit that like and subscribe, as well as follow us on Instagram at Agave Talk, all right? Appreciate you all being here with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let's jump on in. So taking a look at this and the legs and tears on here. I mean, this is a clear spirit, no aging whatsoever. Looking at the legs and tears, it runs pretty quickly. All right, sticking around, but that does dissipate. Yeah, that does dissipate pretty quickly, swirl around, let it open up for a moment, and take that smell. So it's smoky, but it's a light smoke, all right? Whenever you're thinking of mezcal, many people first and foremost, it's just a smoky tequila. Well, no, all right? Again, I have many videos breaking down differences between tequila, mezcal, stuff like that. But this is, because of the method of production, how they're cooking it underground in that earthen pit, in the fire, right? It does have a smoke to it, but it's a light smoke. Personally, I love, 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 love smoky mezcal, right? I love dirty mezcal. The dirtier, the better. Earthier, smokier, the better. I love it. This is a nice little balance. I think, especially for many people who are just getting into tequila, or if somebody brings tequila over to a party, a lot of times they might just bring something like Casamigos based off the name. So if somebody says, get mezcal, brand recognition, they might just go grab this. If it's too overpowering smoke, it might turn people off. If it's underwhelming with smoke, it's like, well, what's the point, right? Personally, this, and smelling it and still talking about smoke, I haven't even tasted it yet. The glass is still, and I actually poured a pretty hefty pour. Regardless, this is going to shine in a cocktail, right? Absolutely going to shine in a cocktail. And that's actually the reason I just went and picked this up from my collection, because I got some family over. I'm going to make some mezcal cocktails. And I just said to myself, you know what? Let me just finish this bottle of Casamigos. And before I do that, let me just do a review. All right. So taking another smell again, pretty. It's a smoke, but it's a balanced smoke. It's definitely kind of fragrant and fruity, kind of herbal as well. Not really earthy, more herbal, more green. Not a lot of earth going on, but definitely like vegetal for sure. But it's all just kind of light. It's not like intense, but it's definitely fragrant and herbal. I like it. All right, let's take a sip. Cheers. So that smoke you're getting in the nose, you're definitely getting on the taste as well. It's more of a burnt kind of smoke, like a burnt rubber. If you're not a mezcal drinker, it might sound weird, but it's not, all right? It's actually kind of a welcome. Well, for my palate, it's definitely welcomed when done right. This is subtle, but it tastes more like burnt rubber than just actual like a campfire smoke, right? Let me take another sip. Let me reach over and grab that. Mm-mm-mm. It is definitely herbal still. Think of like an herbal tea, bitter. It's definitely rooty, bitter, kind of like roots. If you're any Dominicans out there, Mama Juana, right? If you ever drink Mama Juana, it's kind of like that bitter bark kind of taste. It's definitely that. Imagine like bark from tree, like tree bark, just kind of letting sit in some sort of alcohol. Like that's what it is, with a little bit of hint of smoke. That's kind of more of like a burnt rubber. It's definitely got some black pepper up front as well. Definitely a lot of black pepper. But I mean, overall, it's not terrible. Just because of Casamigos, a lot of people would never try this, and especially some tequila snobs, they're just going to hate automatically. But the reality is, when you're looking at the production methods of this, the production methods are solid, and it's just a celebrity brand, right? Overall, is there better stuff out there? For sure. Is this worth $70 or $80? I would not recommend it for that price. If you got this on sale, maybe for 40 or $50, especially for that 1 liter, right? Honestly, it's solid. It's going to make some slick cocktails, and you're going to be able to taste it. It's going to be the front and center of that cocktail, the star of the show, instead of something that kind of gets lost in the sauce, right? So overall, Casamigos Mezcal, I mean, it's not something, again, that I keep in stock, and it's not something that I go out of my way to get, and it's not something I recommend. However, it's not terrible. It does what it does. And the flavors on it, again, just kind of letting it open. That smoke is still there, kind of barbecue-ish, right? But more of that burnt kind of rubber. Still very herbal. Let me take another sip. Mm. Yeah, and as it opens up, the smoke flavors kind of mellowing out, but that black pepper is still there. And like I said, it's more of a burnt instead of a smoke. But that's it. That's it. I appreciate you being here with us. If you have not done so already, please hit that like and subscribe, as well as follow us on Instagram at Agave Talk, right? If you have had this before, if you've not, you want to just yell and scream about celebrity brands, please drop those comments down below. Let's bring out the pitchforks. I appreciate it, all right? And also, again, I appreciate you being here with us. Take care, everybody.